If you've been struggling to sell your coaching and you're not making the type of money you know you deserve, this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing the exact secrets that help me hit consistent 10 to 20K months in my coaching business that supports the dream lifestyle I wanted to be living back when I was stuck in corporate America. And just for context, I just spent the last 5 months living in Bali, and now I've shifted over to Bangkok to spend a little bit of time here and get a change of scenery, but none of this freedom would have been possible if I didn't learn the lessons I'm about to share with you today. Now, these are things that are really going to give you an unfair advantage when it comes to selling your coaching. And honestly, I'm pretty shocked that no one is really talking about this in the coaching industry because for one, they're really simple to implement, and for two, they just work. So let's get into it. Now, most coaches fail for one specific reason. They simply don't know how to sell their coaching, and therefore they end up looking and sounding just like everyone else. See, what's happened in the coaching industry is very simple. This is exactly why coaches are struggling. The markets have become so oversaturated that without differentiation, you look just like everyone else. So there's that mixed with a lack of specialization. In other words, people not choosing a very specific niche to hone in on. And third, they don't know how to market and sell their services. So this video is geared towards the people that actually want to problem solve and start making more money in their coaching business. And this is going to give you the strategies and the solutions to help you start doing those things more effectively. Now, the lessons I learned around selling my coaching all started back in 2023. So let me take you back there and tell you a quick story about why everything I'm teaching you is so important. Now, when I first started coaching, I had no idea what was actually going on in the market. I didn't know who my competitors were. I didn't know what they were offering. And more importantly, I didn't know how my services compared to what was already out there on the market, what everyone else was doing. I was completely blind to all of it. And the biggest fatal mistake that I was making was that I was trying to appeal to everyone versus trying to solve one specific problem for one specific person. That meant that my business was struggling. I wasn't making any sales, and I really didn't know what I needed to do to shift that for myself and start actually making money. But then something happened that completely shifted the way that I saw my business and how I marketed myself in the future. So this one day I got a call from this woman in New York who said that she found me on YouTube, saw some of my videos, and wanted to work with me. Now, for context, at this time, my calendar was literally dry as the Sahara Desert. So I was honestly shocked that she even reached out and booked a call. And when I asked her what made her really book the call, she said that she saw one of my videos where I was sharing a personal story about myself, and she really connected with me, and she instinctively just knew that I was the right person to help coach her on solving the issue she had in her business. And after that, she ended up becoming one of my first clients, and that was when I really truly understood the power of resonance. And so we're gonna get into some of that in the video. But after that happened, it really shifted the way that I started asking questions from people that hopped on sales calls with me, new clients that were coming in the door, because it kept happening over and over again. I'd have someone that found me on YouTube, and within 24 to 48 hours, they would literally pay me $6,000 to $10,000 to work with me in my signature coaching program because they fully understood that I was the right person to help them based upon the stories that I was sharing. They would say things like, "Oh, I heard one of the videos how you talked about going through a divorce, and I personally resonate with that. I'm struggling with the same thing myself." Or, "I love how you're all about monetizing your passions and doing things that you love." Or, "I see that you're a person that's had to completely start over and build from the ground up, and that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. And I knew that you would understand the things that I'm going through." And the crazy thing is, it's not like I was getting hundreds of thousands of views on my videos, not even multiple thousands. I think some of them I had a couple thousand here and there, but for the most part, all of these videos were videos with under 500 views. I had a following of maybe 100 people, and even now I only have like 400 subscribers. So let's be real, if we were basing my income on the amount of followers and subscribers I had, I'd be broke as hell. So I don't want you to fall into the trap of thinking that you did a massive following, because a lot of people, whether they admit to it or not, truly believe that your following size dictates how much money you make in your business. And I want to shift that perspective. If that's something that you're carrying right now, please let it go, because I am proof that this is not reality. All right, now with all of that being said, let's get into what's really going to change the game for you. And I have several strategies that you can use to help sell your coaching and stand out in the crowded coaching space. Now, the first thing that I want to very heavily emphasize here is that you are not for everybody, right? Now, a lot of people understand that niching down is important, but they still struggle to do it. And if you're not willing to niche down, then this video is not for you. Nothing that I tell you today is going to work for you, because you aren't willing to do the things that are necessary to help you succeed in 2025. So if you're someone that's okay with niching down, then cool, let's continue on. So it's very important that you pick one person that you want to work with, solve one problem, and then pick something that people are willing to pay for, obviously. Because when you are in the coaching industry and when it's extremely crowded, and there are not many markets today that aren't crowded when it comes to coaching, here's the problem. So you have one person that's in pain, that wants to solve a problem for themselves, and they're looking to you to be the guide. But what ends up happening is, if you solve too many problems for too many people, you end up not developing the skills necessary to get really, really good at solving one specific problem for one specific person, which means you can't compete with anyone else, because you can't get the results that they can get for their clients, because they are specialized and they are doing what they're doing very well. So you have to get very good at solving a specific problem that's really, really impactful for your clients. They want a problem solved by you, and they want to do it as effectively and simply and easily as possible. So like I said, in order to do that, you really need to specialize, because that's really the only way for you to develop the skills and the level of talent that are required to build a program that gets your clients success. All right, now let's move on to this topic. So if you haven't already heard of the concept of 1,000 true fans, it's something that was coined by Kevin Kelly, who wrote about it in a blog a while ago called the Technium. But essentially, it just means that you don't need 1 million subscribers or followers to get the type of impact and success and income that you want from social media. You really only need 1,000 true fans. Now, just for context, this is what 1,000 true fans actually looks like. And when you're looking at your views on your videos and you're thinking, okay, only 500 people watch this, only 1,000 people watch this, like, these are real people that you're actually making an impact on. And you really need to be able to visualize this in your mind in order to understand how impactful your content and your low views can actually be. Now, when you have a coaching program that you're selling for, let's say, $2,000 as a high ticket coach, if you had your 1,000 true fans here, you've already made $2 million. Like, that's the context of what we're really talking about here. And even if you cut this in half or in 1/4 or a third, right, you're still making a massive amount of money on a quarterly, yearly basis. And that is truly going to impact your life in ways that you can't even imagine right now, because you're probably not where you want to be. You're probably in a 9-to-5 job. You're probably somewhere where you're not getting the type of success that you want. And so there's a level of mastery that you need to have over your skills, over your marketing, over your sales skills that are going to get you to this place. Okay? So with that being said, let's talk about the most important thing that you need to understand right now moving into 2025. Differentiation is your unfair advantage. It is the only thing outside of you having a really, really good coaching program that is going to help you stand apart and be successful in 2025. Again, because there's so much competition, that's the only way you can stand out and actually start to get noticed. So let's talk about how you can actually do that. Now, I have 4 specific ways that I do that within my coaching business and that I help my clients do. And the first is market segmentation. So let's break this down a little bit. Market segmentation is literally saying, instead of, let's say, I always give the example of like a fitness coach or a relationship coach because they're the most easy to understand. But essentially, let's say that you are a fitness coach and you help people lose 20 pounds. Now, instead of taking the entire pie of the market, what you want to be doing is taking your piece of the pie. instead of trying to attack out here at this level, you want to go all the way in and hone in on a specific segment of your particular market. Because if you're only seeking to help that 1,000 group of people, your 1,000 true fans, then you don't have to go this wide. And the problem is, when you go this wide, now you're looking at a level of competition that's unreal, right? You're looking at people that are heavy hitters, that have huge amounts of money, and they have huge teams, and they have what it takes to scale their business at this level, which you don't have right now as a small creator, as a small business owner. And so this is the way that you can make an impact. You can make a significant amount of income for yourself without actually having to attack the wider market, which is going to water down your message, and you're not going to get as far as quickly. So it's really important that you segment yourself within the market. Now, how do you do this? So let's say you are looking at a top level market, health, wealth, or relationships. Starting from there, you would say, okay, how can I choose a specific identity of the person that I resonate with the most, that I could work with? And typically this is just going to be you a couple of years before you made it to where you wanted to be in terms of the transformation you help your clients get. So if you're a fitness coach and you help people lose 20 pounds, then when did you lose those 20 pounds, or what was your journey like? And who were you before you got there? That is the identity of the person you're seeking to attract. Now, you can do this by finding like a career type. So let's say for me, because I was an IT engineer in a past life, I could go after IT engineers that want to transition out of a 9-to-5 job and build a coaching business. Or you could take any other identity type, like let's say males that are over 40, or dads, or single moms, right? Think about the identity level of the person that you want to target, and that then becomes a piece of your customer avatar. So secondly, once you've covered the identity, then you cover the dream outcome. So as an example, with the weight loss, the person who's trying to lose 20 pounds is completely different than the person who's trying to lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds. And you have to understand the distinction between those people, because they have different goals, they have different problems they're trying to solve, and you have to really hone in on what the problems are for your specific target audience. You can't go broad on this. You have to think about, okay, if I'm targeting someone that wants to build six-pack abs, they're probably already somewhat fit, or at least a level of fitness that's not them having to lose 100 pounds first, right? So their problems may be, all right, what type of foods do I need to really lean out my body? What type of exercise regimens, what type of supplements do I need that are really going to help me lean out my body? What type of exercises do I need to be doing to sculpt my stomach? Whereas someone that's wanting to lose 50 pounds is like, how do I lose the weight? And those are completely different problems to solve. So you want to get really granular on the dream outcome that you're helping people achieve, as well as the pain points associated and the problems associated with solving that, right? Now, if you're getting any value from this video whatsoever, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be dropping more content just like this to help you grow and scale your coaching business. And I promise you it's going to be worth it. So once you've combined all of this, that then becomes your segment of the market, your piece of the pie that you are targeting, that's completely smaller than the overall large market that you were left with originally. And this is how you level out how much competition you really have, because how many people are specifically looking at helping, an IT engineer lose 20 pounds that's a single dad, right? The more that you carve that down, I promise you there's enough people out here for you to target, but that means that you pretty much level out the amount of competition you have just by your specificity. All right, now let's talk about the second way that you are going to differentiate yourself on the market. So the second thing is your unique mechanism. Now, this is something I'm going to share an example of how I do this within my own business, but hopefully it'll give you some clarity for yours. Now, your unique mechanism is a combination of your knowledge, your experiences and the problems you have solved over the course of your life. And what you want to do is create a unique way of getting your clients to their dream result using this unique mechanism. Okay? So for me personally, what I have is a unique mechanism, which is a program that I'm launching in the next week that helps people solve every single problem that new coaches or even experienced coaches have within their business. See here, new coaches struggle with building the foundations and the brand for their business. A lot of them don't even understand the importance of branding, and so they completely miss out on that. And there are so many things that they don't know that these two programs help them solve. Building the foundation of their coaching business and building a brand that is attractive to their ideal clients, right? So this is how I've been able to solve these problems for myself within my own business. And since I've curated all of this knowledge over the course of my experience, over the course of time, over the course of me spending 10 plus years being an entrepreneur, there are so many things that I've learned about building the foundation of a business that I now have packaged up into a unique solution for my target audience that no one else can duplicate, because this is specifically my brand, my way of doing things that's completely different than anyone else on the market. And I know that it solves the problem that my clients have better than anyone else, because I've pretty much been around the block. I've seen what programs are out there. I know how effective they are or what they're lacking. And so I built a system that covers everything A to Z that coaches need. It covers content, it covers paid ads, it covers how to sell, it covers how to market, it covers how to build the foundation of your business, right? So you want to exemplify these same things within your coaching program to understand exactly what it is your target audience is struggling with and how you can uniquely build a solution that helps them solve things better than anyone else on the market. And this is how you build not only a killer brand, but a killer coaching program that actually gets results. Because if you're not getting results, everything I promise you is going to break down in the future. Even if you get clients in, if you can't generate testimonials, if you can't get people to positively talk about your coaching experience that you're providing to your clients, people aren't going to buy from you. It's not going to be sustainable. So that's why your unique mechanism is extremely important, not only for how you're helping your clients, but it's also important for you to see what's on the market and how is my product different than what everyone else is doing. For example, if you're a fitness coach, again, if you're helping people solve problems like weight loss, what are the things that they don't want to deal with when it comes to losing weight? They don't want to get rid of their favorite foods. They don't want to have some crazy workout regimen. And if there are other programs out there that do those things, like think about, I don't know, one of the things I could remember was like P90X. And if you're not familiar with it, it's just like this crazy routine and you have to basically starve yourself and eat all these crazy things or whatever. So point is, people don't want to do those things. So if you know what's already on the market, you differentiate yourself by saying, hey, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. In fact, you can eat all of your favorite foods. You just have to modify the amount of quantities of those foods you're eating, but you can still eat whatever you want, right? Just have a structure around how you help them achieve those goals. Now, in any other niche, this still applies. It's all the same. Think about what your clients don't want to deal with to get to the end result that they want to get to the dream outcome, and then build your program around making all of that stuff easier for them. And I promise you, it will help you so much in terms of selling your coaching program and in terms of looking unique on the market, having something different that they've never heard about before, okay? Now, if you're someone that is struggling to grow your business or even just to build the foundation of your coaching business, I highly, highly recommend joining my Skool community because I have free courses, free information, and plenty of tools and resources to help you solve the problems you're having in your business. So if that sounds like you, it's totally free to join. The link is in the description. I know these resources are going to help you grow your business. So one of the most important things is shifting beliefs around why your solution is better than other people's and getting really clear on how that's the case, having a unique framework and methodology that can't be duplicated by other people, and then getting clear on how your solution stands apart from the rest of the market and you as a coach, how you're different as well. Okay? Now, that's how we lead into the third aspect, which is your conversion story. Now, in the beginning, we talked about how a lot of the clients that were coming in for me would reference my personal story, the things that I've shared that were more vulnerable aspects of my unique story and my journey and my path, how I got to where I am today. And that's exactly what your conversion story is about. Your conversion story is a very strategic way of sharing your story and your vulnerabilities with people in a way that actually connects. And in order to do that, you can't just randomly start talking about your entire life story. It needs to be fine-tuned and put together in a way that truly connects and it's relevant to your business and the results that you provide for other people. So the first step in building out the framework of your conversion story is starting with the struggle. So you want to share a moment in your life where you were faced with a challenge that your audience can truly relate to, showing them that you've been in their shoes, you know what it's like to be them, and that you were able to get to the other side successfully, so that it gives them hope, inspiration, and faith that they can do the same thing. The second thing is the turning point. So this is where you want to talk about the realization, the decision, the major turning point that happened, or the event that changed everything for you. So as an example, for me, that was when I first started coaching. I was still juggling, my corporate work that I was doing, and I was trying to build both at the same time, and I was really struggling to do so because I was completely burnt out. And then one day I had a crazy panic attack while I was literally in the middle of one of the if you don't know my past history, I was in the middle of a crisis call. So I was helping solve really high level problems for Fortune 500 companies that were automations and technical solutions, and I don't want to get into the details of it because it's fairly complex. But basically, there was a system that went down, and we had a matter of minutes to get it back up, and every hour that passed, they were losing money, and not just like $5, $10, $100. Like, they were losing hundreds of thousands of dollars for every minute that the system was not up and running. And so the level of stress, because this was the type of work that I was doing for years and years and years, and it was always like high pressure. Like, there were times where I literally would stay at work for days on end because we were in war rooms, and war rooms were basically a group or collection of people that knew how to solve specific problems for specific systems. And they would have us in there. They would, of course, feed us and give us things to drink or whatever, but we would literally stay in those war rooms for days on end. They literally had beds for us to sleep in. That's how stressful it was, because we could not leave. Like, we had our own free will, but it was like there was a certain, let's say, unspoken thing that, like, if you leave this room, you're gonna get fired. Like, we'll find a reason to fire you. We'll find a reason to say, oh, you weren't doing your job or whatever. And I would watch it happen to multiple people. It was just a culture thing. I'm not going to say which company this is, just because, but it was known. Like, it was very hardcore. It was very stressful. It was very intense, and they paid us extremely well. But this is what was expected of you. And I had a literal panic attack, and I broke down in one of these times of stress and pretty much hyperventilated in front of a group of people. And it was extremely embarrassing. That was my turning point. That was when I knew I had to do something else. That was when I knew this isn't sustainable for me. I'm going to die if I continue to live my life this way. That was the turning point. That was when I knew that enough was enough. I needed to do something different. I wanted to do something that I was passionate about. And I ended up landing on business coaching because it's something that I truly love and enjoy. So as an example, this is a turning point that you would want to use in your content as you're building out your conversion story. What was that turning point for you? When did you know that enough was enough? When did you know that it was time to make a change? Okay. Now, the transformation. This is where you want to describe the results or the success that you achieved after making the change, after the turning point, and then give your audience hope for that same transformation because it was possible for you. And then after all of that is done, you want to tie it back to your offer, tie it back to how you help people achieve the same exact transformation that you were able to achieve for yourself through the XYZ program that you have that helps XYZ person achieve desired result. So hopefully all of that makes sense. Now, if you want to drill deeper into it, because it can be a lengthy topic, here are 2 additional resources of people that do this really, really well. Russell Brunson does this in Expert Secrets and .com Secrets. So those are 2 books that he has. And then Colin Boyd, you can find him on Instagram or YouTube, but he literally specializes in what he calls conversion stories. So if you need help drilling into that further, it's extremely important. Like, I cannot emphasize how important it is to have a conversion story. But if you want to drill into that deeper, definitely look these 2 up. And then on to our final component here, which is your marketing message. So your marketing message is extremely important, right? It is the one thing that helps make it extremely clear to your target audience who you are, what you do, why you do it, and how you can help people achieve their desired result through working with you. It's something that you want to make extremely clear and simple, and you know when you're on the right track when you can describe exactly what you do in one sentence and people just easily and quickly understand it. So for example, I help coaches build 6-figure businesses. Very simple, very straightforward. It doesn't take a lot of thought to understand exactly what it is that I do. For fitness coach, it could be I help single dads lose their last 20 pounds, or I help single dads build 6-pack abs. Very simple. So the reason why this is so important is because a lot of you do not know how to simplify your marketing message in a way that's easily received and understood by your target audience. And if you have a confused person that doesn't know exactly what you do, exactly how you can help them, they don't know what programs you have in place to help them, they're never going to buy from you. It's that simple. So your marketing message needs to be extremely clear, and it needs to be infused in every single piece of content you create. It is the core of how you communicate with your target audience. So if you're not clear on that, I can guarantee you that's a major reason why you're not seeing success in your business. Now, if you want to get really, really good with your marketing message, the resource that I would recommend is Building a Story Brand. This is a book that explains exactly why your marketing message is so important and how you can build it and structure it. He has free resources to help you build out your marketing message. But essentially, let's say you're launching a new coaching program and there's a specific end result that you're trying to help people achieve. It's going to help you define exactly what your marketing message is, how you can connect that with your target audience in a way that they can receive and understand and feel connected to. And every single thing that you produce within your coaching program, any marketing materials that you put out there need to have your marketing message infused in them. And once you get really, really good at this, selling becomes really fucking easy. It does. It's so simple, so easy. And so I highly, highly recommend that you look for this resource. Just download it on Audible or, check out a Kindle book. You can get it immediately. But if you want me to make any more content around any of these concepts, your marketing message, your conversion story, your unique mechanism, differentiating yourself on the market. If you want me to produce more content on any of these things, just let me know in the comments. If you have any questions about what I've said, let me know in the comments so I know what other additional resources to provide to you guys here on YouTube. Now, if you're someone that's truly serious about growing and scaling your coaching business and you're tired of all the BS and all the confusion and you just want a proven system that shows you exactly how to grow and scale your business without all the fluff, then hit me up on Instagram at TheJTiff, or you can click on the link in the description and book in a call with me directly. See you guys in the next one.